Welcome to another episode of Eatin' with Joe. I took a quick sabbatical, but I'm back, baby. And so is my favorite Christmas spirit. No. Yes. That's right, I'm back continuing my tour of the 50 states featuring the most iconic food from every single state. This time, dipping my toe into the waters of Kentucky. All right, before we get going, as always, if you like this episode, click that like button, share it with someone you think might like this episode, and please remember to click on that big, beautiful subscribe button below so you never miss another episode. Now, in this episode, I'd love to give a shout out to my first official partner. Well, I'd love to, but I don't have a sponsor yet, so if you would like to reach thousands, hundreds, dozens of people. Now, let's talk about Kentucky. What do you do when the most iconic thing to come out of your state is booze? Well, you make Christmas cookies out of it, of course. And these particular cookies are called Kentucky Bourbon Balls. I thought this episode would be very seasonally appropriate, so you might want to take notes on this one. Also, don't set these cookies out for Santa or he just might never finish his route. Now, the top 10 most iconic things to come out of the state of Kentucky: Kentucky Derby, Muhammad Ali, Abraham Lincoln, Louisville Sluggers, and these 6 bourbons. Well, maybe not these 6, but any 6 bourbons. That's right, not a whole lot going on in Kentucky, but they make up for it by making some of the best stuff on earth. Kentucky Mash Bourbon. Now, what makes a whiskey a bourbon? 2 things. First, the grains that they use in a bourbon have to be at least 51% corn. That high corn content is what makes bourbon sweeter than a lot of whiskeys. Number 2, it has to be aged in new charred oak barrels. You can't age bourbon in barrels that were used in wine or sherry or anything else. If you follow these rules, it just ensures there's no artificial colors or artificial flavors in bourbon. It's all natural. Now, I'll go more into bourbons and other whiskeys in future episodes, but for now, let's get cooking. Listen, it's that time of year where you're going to be making Christmas cookies anyway, so why not give these a try? I'll put the recipe in the comments below as well as in the episode description, but follow along. It's pretty easy. Not too many ingredients, pretty straightforward. You start off by giving the pecans a little bourbon bath. Lucky pecans. Toast them. Let your nuts cool. Yeah, I said let your nuts cool. I'm just reading from the recipe. Don't be so childish. Mix everything together. Roll them into balls. Cover them in the magic dust. Stick them in the fridge. Dunzo. Check it out. These things are perfect to serve at your next holiday party. Or in the age of COVID, they're perfect to eat in the garage all by yourself. Go ahead. I won't judge. Now, you might think, are these really the most iconic food to come out of Kentucky? Some people might say, what about Kentucky Fried Chicken? Some people might say KFC is the 4th largest fast food chain in the world. Well, those people would just be wrong. I'm talking about the most iconic food, the most defining food, the food that best represents the state in which it was born. And besides, if you've been watching, you already know that I gave fried chicken to Mississippi. Okay, so I did the math. The recipe says it makes 30 balls. You use 3/4 cup of bourbon. A little bit of that burns off when you toast the pecans. So you have about 5/8 cup left. Divided by 30 balls, 5/8 cup equals 5 shots. That means there's 1 shot of booze in every 6 balls. Of course, I got a little aggressive. I ended up making these a little big. Turns out there's 1 shot of bourbon in every 5 of mine. So let's eat up. And that's the answer to the question, when am I going to use this math in real life? All right, let's do this. Cheers. Well, there's no getting around it. There's plenty of bourbon in these, but they are fantastic. Now, in this recipe, I use one of my favorites, bullet bourbon. As you can tell, I am a fan. Again, don't judge. You can use whatever you want, but you got to stay true to the recipe. Kentucky bourbon, please. Bullet bourbon, frontier whiskey, made using our family's high rye mash bill and pure Kentucky limestone filtered water. Sounds like heaven, doesn't it? 90 proof Christmas cheer. Yeah, Santa wouldn't stand a chance if you leave these out for him. Well, that's it, everybody. Another state down. Another iconic food discovered. I highly recommend you make these for your COVID Christmas. You're welcome. Thanks very much for watching. Again, if you like it, remember to click like, share it with someone you think might like this episode, and click that subscribe button. I really, really appreciate it. Until next time, cheers.